Trumpet players, these are 5 things you need to stop doing immediately if you want to be the best player in your band. Stick around to the end because I think number 5 is going to surprise you. First of all, you're holding the trumpet all wrong. You have to think about it this way. You hold the trumpet with your left hand and you play the trumpet with your right hand. Mind-blowing, right? You start by grabbing the trumpet with your left hand around the valve casings. Your thumb goes around the first valve casing, and then your other fingers go around the third valve casing. And your ring finger goes in this ring that's attached to the third valve slide. Your pinky just hangs out right here. Now this is where you're getting it wrong. Your thumb does not go around the first valve casing. You already have a thumb there. There's no room for that thumb. You put your thumb between the first and second valve casings underneath the lead pipe, right here. That's where your thumb goes. Make sure the tips of your fingers are on the tops of the valves, not the flat parts of your fingers. This can create really bad habits when you play the trumpet, and you can actually break your trumpet by accidentally pressing the valves over years of playing with flat fingers. Now your pinky. Your pinky doesn't actually go in this. You only use that in special cases. It actually sits right here at the top. The only time you're ever going to put your pinky in this ring is if you need to hold the trumpet and play at the same time. And the only time you're ever going to do that is if you're taking out a mute or using a plunger. All right, let's talk about bad embouchures. These are super easy to fix and spot if you look in the mirror when you're playing. All of these are wrong, but let me show you the right way. First of all, when we set our embouchure, you need to think the letter M. That puts your lips in the perfect position. Then when your lips are closed, you're gonna think the syllable E, and that's gonna pull your chin down to make it flat and the corners of your mouth back to make them firm. You gotta stay in that position when you go to play. M, This takes a lot of practice at first. When I started taking lessons on the trumpet, I had a hard time thinking the syllable E. So my trumpet player put a little sticky note at the end of my bell that said E, and it helped me make that every time because I would look at the end of my bell and go, oh yeah, E. Eventually, you'll be able to do this from muscle memory, and you won't even have to think about it. M, E. Next, let's talk about our cheeks. We've all seen somebody puff out their cheeks when they play the trumpet, right? We've seen Dizzy Gillespie do it. It's a very bad habit. Dizzy is the exception. We do not want to puff out our cheeks when we play. Our air ends up staying here and here instead of going through the trumpet. The air needs to go through the trumpet, not into our cheeks. So your embouchure is not going to work if you puff your cheeks. Which leads me to the next biggest issue with beginner trumpet players. Air. You may think you're using the right amount of air, but your air is not working properly. The trumpet is a wind instrument. It takes wind to make sound, and a lot of it. You have to think of yourself as a garden hose, and the air that's coming out of you is like the water that's coming out of the hose. Now, on a garden hose, we've seen all the settings, right? Shower, cone, flat. At least at the beginning, we only want to use one setting when playing the trumpet, and that is jet, where all your air goes in one spot. That makes your tone so nice and so clean. Make sure you take deep belly breaths and focus all your air into one spot. This will guarantee that you have a great sound. Number 5, your tongue is all wrong. Your tongue is so important when you play the trumpet. Do you sound like this? You want to sound like this? Changing your tongue is gonna fix that. If your tongue is lying in the flat part of your mouth, just down here hanging out, not doing anything, all that focused air can't move correctly and it makes you sound bad. So we want to start off by saying the syllable T. Remember that E sound? Now we're gonna add a T to it to make the T sound when you play a note. This puts your tongue right behind your teeth and it arches it up towards the top of your mouth, which is exactly where it needs to be. Can you hear the difference? Completely different sound, right? It's amazing how your tongue shape directly affects your sound. One bonus tip, you can practice all of these things on your mouthpiece, including your hand position. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which tip helped you the most. Now go do your best. Your best is always better than you think.